Unit 2 was launched. Another 2 million homes. So we talk about 3 million homes in total. 72 billion reais investment in order to try to put out these 500,000 homes a year. Because the challenge of the bank is not about getting the stuff sold, because the consumer is there. The challenge of Brazil is making sure that everyone is structured, all the projects go on, that the projects get licensed, and that they get implemented. So how can we make money of it? That's the main question. A lot of people have been looking at it. Everyone has been to several seminars. And then, yeah, you see the market, everyone is talking the same old story. But now, how can I make money of it? Because in the end, it's not like 5 years ago when they said, well, you've got a European lifestyle customer, you've got a European investor who likes to invest money, likes to resell the unit. At this moment, Brazil has the customer and Brazil has the finance. So things have changed. While 6 years ago, the owners of Capuch fly to Brazil to meet us and ask us to make a joint venture, in which the way the joint venture has been structured was very favorable for us. Now, we can fly to Brazil, we can ask for a meeting with Capuch, and maybe they receive us. You know, Brazil is different at this moment. Yeah, we as Europeans, we can profit from it, we can provide finance, but in the end, the Caixa Econômica has the finance. Of course, what we see a lot is that nobody has time. A lot of people say, well, I try to do business in Brazil, and they're talking with Brazilian constructors, they're talking with Brazilian landowners, but they don't get anything back from them. Because nobody in Brazil has time. Brazilians don't understand, and they don't give a shit to make sure that you get all the information for your investors. We like to have a net present value, we like an internal rate of return, we like a cash flow forecast, we need all these things. But nobody in Brazil is going to make it for you, because at the time they're making this cash flow forecast, so many units are being sold. Yeah. Over here are people from Manzanares, also, thank you for coming. Of course, Brazil is in a moment that everyone is hurrying. Everyone is going through this bureaucratic cycle. They all have problems with getting the contracts done, and nobody's returning calls. And that's reality. I mean, we have customers which are very angry with us because we're not coming back to them. It's a simple thing. It is. At this moment, we have a few partners which we value a lot. We invest our time in them, but we can't do it all. Well, what we try to do is do a little thing and making sure that we find the right deals, that we create these cash flow forecasts, that we package them in a way that people like Steve can sell them to the market over here, making sure it's a guaranteed investment, having a good due diligence. We got the lawyers over here. There are only very few lawyers in Natal which can provide a good due diligence report. Legal structures, make it simple, make it easy for people to get into the market. Because in the end, we over here in Europe, we're dealing with a Latin culture, totally different law. So all these things is what we as a company, we try to achieve. So providing the selective business opportunities and make it just safe and easy for people to get in. Now in the last 15 months, we developed 14 new SPVs. Over here, there are 9 published. We're now making another 5 at this moment. Just to get into the market together with our investor relationships and make use of the opportunity we have at this moment in sight. All of us, we already know the Northeast, most people present, we know that the growth rates are highest over there. Quite interesting that the housing shortage over there is also relatively very high. Because of course, if you look at the metropolitan areas of Sao Paulo, Rio, over there they're 2.9 million property short, and in the Northeast it's 2.7. It's quite remarkable because you would expect the difference to be far bigger. So we keep on concentrating in the Northeast for these reasons. We are in Natal. Why we're in Natal? Well, to be honest, because the first time we arrived there, we had a partner over there, and one moment we didn't have a customer, so we started doing something else. But in the end, things worked out well for us because we all know that Natal is going to have this new international airport where we are buying land around it. Very interesting because it will be the biggest international airport for logistics, at least, because of the strategic location of Natal, right in the northeast corner. We all know that Natal will be one of the host cities for the World Cup, and Natal is expanding. Why is Natal expanding? Because Natal is getting too expensive for the people in the affordable housing bracket. We know that the market is in the middle class. The middle class has difficulties in entering into the Natal market. Why? Because the land is too expensive to produce these social homes. So the development is taking place in the suburbs. So if you look into the land deals which we are doing as well, buy it where the constructors need to buy land for their social housing projects. And because one of the things which is quite interesting in Brazil is that constructors, they like all to buy in permuta in exchange. Well, if you are cash rich, you buy the land, you just sell the permuta to a constructor, you can already make a good deal of money. Why? Because the constructor will pay you like as a percentage of your total GDV of your product, while you buy the land as the price of the raw material. Just this simple transaction of buying the land and selling a permuta deal to a trustful constructor can be a very interesting investment. Look into the facts and look into lands in São Gonçalo, look into other lands in São Gonçalo, smaller, bigger, time frames 5 years. You see an average 100% growth rates of the land per year. So we're just talking to the ladies over there. I think in Brazil you can buy property, yes, but the real money at this moment is being made on land. Why? Because if you look to the average of your houses, you hire a good architect which makes an attractive design of it. You get your licenses and you just sell the project license. Well, we're just making this exercise. The projected profits are ×5 more or less. Yeah? Hybrid investment strategies. Talk about licensing projects. At this moment, having a licensed project in Natal, and I think all the people in the room can confirm, one, they're not present, and when they're present, tomorrow you got a constructor buying, because everyone has a hurry to go to get to this end consumer and make sure that he doesn't lose all the time and all the bureaucracy getting the licenses. So just buying the land, creating a licensed project for us is one of the most important investment strategies which we would advise people. Returns are more or less times 3. 163% return on investment per year if you do it the right way. Then create the infrastructure. Of course you can create the infrastructure, you can put in the plots. At this moment, making the plots, selling the plots is not so interesting because end buyers are not interested in plots anymore because the houses are financed. Yeah? So if you finance the house at 5% and you don't finance buying an individual plot, and it ruins the market of plots. Still plots are selling, but plots are selling now to the small constructors, because the small constructors, which are making like 20, 30 houses a year, they would love to buy a bunch of plots from you. And so infrastructure development adds a lot of value, you can make money, it's more complex, makes more cost, can be good when the market, in specific markets, but at this moment in Brazil, it's not one of the elements which we would push. Because of the simple reason that people like houses because they can change from the rents right away to a house being purchased. Yeah? If they buy the plot, they still need to pay a rent, which is double. And we're talking about people which earn 500, 600 pounds family income, and we should not forget about that. So then we end up. So we have the land, we get the license, we get the infrastructure, we can create the properties. Well, let's do it. Yeah? Because I mean the market is there. Why not do it? We have 100% construction finance. You need to work with a constructor which is Xericada, which is known by the Caixa Econômica. But in the end, there's a little exit risk. I mean, in the end, the most important part why all of us did well in Brazil is the fact that there is an exit risk. There's an exit route. All of Europe, all of the world, we had the problem that we had property, and what to do with the property? Nobody is buying the property from us. In Brazil, especially in the middle class, and we got the advantage that the market is not saturated, finance is just coming in, and that's why the bank says, well, for us it's safe to construct, to finance developer, because in the end, the market is there. So property development in the end makes most of the money, but you have to evaluate whether the higher risk, whether the higher efforts, the higher management commitment which you have to put into the contract is worthwhile the effort of developing. Then buying to sell and buying to rent, well, we've seen some business plans of the project finance. They're just buying over here in Europe, afterwards to let it or to resell. We think it's very hard, it's very difficult, so we don't want to get into that. Then in the end, you know, every business is very specific. It's about the opportunity which passes by. I think when you have your land, you start developing your land, you start developing your master plans, and the customer will come to you, and at that specific moment you can decide what to do. The most important part is get in, make sure you create your playground, make sure you have your master plan available, you have your staff license, make sure that everyone trusts in you, that you're credible, and then play with it. Yeah? It is great to have a piece of land where you say, well, I'm going to construct over there. The rest is going up in price. Because you are constructing over there, the constructors want to start constructing next to you because you are selling over there. So their exit risk is lower. So the price already goes up. Next to that, you going to trade a permuta to a constructor which has a high profile. High profile constructor is in, land increases even more. Then you say, well, I would like to have some cash to finance my own construction. Bam, you sell something, get the money, put it in your own construction. And that's how you start going. Yeah? And you don't, just start small, getting into the market, and just start doing it. And that's our mission. Yeah? Make it selective, make it safe and simple, get into the market, and just do it in a safe way. Because in the end, every opportunity is only as good as the safety which is concerned with it. Thanks for your attention.